It all started when Aaron noticed salmon coming out of the vent. Well, we've had the most catastrophic failure, I think, in our cooking history.
Drive Miss Daisy right through the pond right here.
There's a lake. A lake. Okay. Alright, go for it.
Coming at ya. Hey, guess what? They're hearing me, everything I say. I got my ear pods in. You're good.
Don't cuss!
You need a shovel? Yeah. Can you move it?
Yeah. So the guys that cleared the land and stuff for us, they, somewhere in here, we have to find it. We think it's right there. They had pushed the land back, and we need this pond that has now become our driveway to drain into.
Let's see that one up here. Oh, Blue! You okay? Oh, yeah.
Oh my god! So I thought, I'll just step right here. I am knee deep. Did we fix it? You think it'll work?
Don't feel full of slush again.
Welcome to spring in Alaska. We have made it through our third winter here up in Alaska, and we are ecstatic. One of the greatest parts about spring up here is we can be outside. We have kind of held this project. We have done little bits of fish processing throughout the winter, and Aaron has been so gracious and done all of it outside. But now we're going to do a really big fish processing. We have a giant cooler of salmon defrosted.
So we're trying to go through our salmon, you know, stuff that's been in there a little longer than the others, so we can cycle through, because this summer we'll be fishing for more, obviously. So we're going to go through this today, open them back up. We thawed them out last night, and we're going to take them, clean them up a little bit, and we're going to brine them, and then we're going to smoke them, and then we're going to can them. It's new to us. We haven't done this yet. We've tried some other people's stuff, and it's really, really good. But so this is just another process we can do with some fish instead of letting it go bad.
The first thing Aaron and I are going to do getting into it is we want to candy and then smoke these salmon two different ways. I want to do some with some cowboy candy, and Aaron wants to just do it straight, and then we'll see which we like better. So this is sockeye salmon, which is red salmon, and then we have some silver salmon as well that are coho. They are a little older. We held on to them maybe a little bit too long, And our reason is they shut down silver salmon fishing this past summer. So I'm going to be dividing my salmon into this metal bowl.
And I have a 5-gallon food grade bucket here that we're going to use them for the plain salmon.
Aaron is getting the fish going. I'm gonna mix up the brine. The brine is super simple. It is 1 part brown sugar and 1 part sea salt. So for every cup of salt, so we'll do 2 to start out with. We do 2 cups of brown sugar. So what we want to do is take this mixture, this 50-50 mixture, and then coat each layer of salmon. And just really get the salmon themselves. And then they will give off their own juices that they're going to be brining in. It's starting to make it at the bottom.
Oh, more sugar and salt.
All right, so we have our 2 buckets going here. Can you use your knife and pop this open? What I have here is I just can the juice to the cowboy candy separate. So after I get the cowboy candy, which is candied jalapeno. So there's sugar in here. There is turmeric, there's a little cayenne pepper, and I want to flavor this. No, one of them's gonna be during the smoking process and one is now. So I'm going to flavor this fish with this jar of just the cowboy candy leftover juice. I use that in everything like sausages and so on. I'm gonna mix that up, but I'm gonna get this one mixed first. And Aaron and I are gonna take it inside, and when we do, we're gonna move these in the beginning every 30 minutes to an hour. Mixed around. And I'm gonna just cover this one with plastic wrap. And we're gonna do the smoking on this one first. Perfect. Ready to get it carried in? Go. We have the smoker going, and I am going to get the glaze started out here. And the glaze is going to be just honey and cowboy candy juice. And what is going to happen to help candy the fish inside of the smoker is we're going to just paint on some honey and some cowboy candy. So that was the honey. And I only need to heat this enough to bring together.
All right, so now we're gonna be putting the glaze onto the fish. We've already got these ones cut up, cube, put on some skewers that we're gonna put on our smoker, and we'll give it a try sticking it on there. Shouldn't take a whole lot of time to do. Get these up to an internal temperature, about 150.
Okay, our smoker is just a little bit different. And when Aaron tipped the salmon up like this to hang, so each one of the skewers have a hole and it goes through the rebar, and I will show you that. But what happened is the salmon wants to fall off. It only needs a half, so we can use it next time too. Go ahead, start grabbing some. So we had this genius idea, which started out Aaron's idea. He has put in the smoker an apple so that we can tell temp, and we can't put the meter inside of the salmon isn't thick enough. These pieces aren't thick enough for him to put the meter in it. Anyway, it's a whole thing, but then we thought, hey, an apple will stay on a skewer and not slide off. Why not? But we also didn't want to put something on here that would give a bunch of flavor to the salmon, because the smoke's going to hit that apple first, impart some sort of flavor inside of the smoker. But look, when you put the apple on there, well, it doesn't work on all of them.
What? You're just going to be sitting. Do it again.
This one's going to slide off.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Go through the skin of the apple.
I did.
Did you?
Try and go through the skin. No, see when I go through the skin of even the fish.
Try now.
It's holding. It's holding, friends. We may lose some, but you know what? This is our first time doing any of this. Therefore, we get a pass if we make a mistake, right? But we're trying to learn even before we get inside of the canner. There.
Alright, so we're going to get some water in here. We're going to rinse these chunks of salmon off that have been in the brine overnight. And then in here, the salmon, the salt, and the sugar starts pulling all the moisture out of the fish. Should have started making its own juice. Oh yeah, look how much water came off of the that's just coming out of the meat. If you can see, I don't know if you can see real well because I got tipped that one side. Sugar's fine because everybody likes, but you don't want it too salty. So we're gonna give it a quick rinse, get them cut up, get them ready to dry, put them on the skewers so we can smoke them. Can you pull that sleeve up, please?
Yeah, before or after I get covered in fish guts?
Before.
Preferably before. Let's go ahead and
That's
put it
good.
here. All right, I'm gonna jump in here and help Aaron. This is how we did the first batch as well. And I do want to point out the flesh is so firm now, which is kind of the goal. We know that it's cured, but we're gonna look for anything on it. Like this is just some skin here without flesh. If we try to smoke that, it's gonna smoke faster than the rest of it, and that's not gonna be good. So I'm gonna just clean up the salmon. And then we cut the last one in these little chunks, but that was a different salmon to begin with. And so for this one, I think I'm gonna do a little bigger pieces. Right about like this. All right. And then we're gonna set these out and let everything, see, like this piece won't smoke very good because it's just so thin at the end. Cutting board 2. We just want to let it air dry for a little while, and hopefully we don't draw on the eagles again. But we also have this bowl filled up as well.
Damn.
Well, we've had the most catastrophic failure, I think, in our cooking history, and it's not even funny. Like, we're laughing because we don't know what to do with ourselves. Well, let me show you. It all started when Aaron noticed salmon coming out of the vent on the bottom of the smoker. And we lost about half of this batch. So we're gonna save what we can really quick.
Ready? Take this one off. What are you gonna put them on?
How about the cutting board? Oh my god. But the smell of the fish burning on the charcoals is not excellent.
Would not recommend it.
But this one we only lost one thing.
2.
Okay.
Oh.
However.
Yeah.
Gonna put a grate in there now. Now I'm gonna put some smoking paper just in case anything else falls. And try to salvage what we can.
Does it make sense here?
Good.
Set it.
All right. Round 2. The first round of smoking is done. Aaron, come on in. I was shouting for him. He started me a little fire over here. He came out. We're gonna grab this set out, and then we're gonna go right back in with the next set of fish. Will it work? Or do you want to pull them off individually?
And blue.
I have, how many of you know when the kids and I first moved here, this was our stove. We lived at the dry cabin next door, and this was out on the porch. When we got here on the airplane, the kids and I, Aaron and I, went by Bass Pro and bought this little camp stove and one cast iron pan that we still have as well. And we broke that out so that we can can out here. What's happening with the big canner inside is the flame hits the countertop. So we're gonna do all of our canning outside today. I have some jars just sterilizing and boiling here. And then we're gonna get this ready to go. I'm gonna get set up to start jarring here. By doing that, I got a bunch of clean rags in the bowl. I've got the fish. I'm gonna pull the jars out, set them here. Then I'm gonna do some white vinegar because we're going to make sure the rim is really sealed well. And then into the canner they're gonna go. I think just push them off into the bowl and then I can load the canner. What do you think? Oh, wait. Oh, that's sticky. Nice. That is candy.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
The best salmon you ever had?
It really dried it out, which I don't think I expected that. But it's not a deep flavor. It's really, you guys, it's super mild in flavor, but it's good. It's not super sweet or super salty at all. I'm gonna pack the salmon in jars. Any of the pieces of skin, they say skin side out on the jar. We lost quite a bit of skin doing it the way that we're doing it. That's all right too. You think that bigger chunks are gonna be better?
No, I think you need to stay with this cowboy candy on them.
We can stay with the cowboy candy. He says stay with the cowboy candy, you guys, after we had 2 days of debate of how we wanted these to taste. The cowboy candy is fantastic. We've got the first 2 layers of jars in here. While it takes about an hour or so for it to smoke, that will give us plenty of time to get this up and running. I have the canner coming up to temp. And as far as canning time goes, we spoke to some lifelong Alaskans, multi-generations. They have been here in Alaska. They do this exact process, and they can for 60 minutes for half pints, and then another friend does 70 minutes. There isn't an exact number that it has to. We've looked it up, and so we're gonna go right in the middle. We're gonna go 65 minutes on these half pint jars. Once it comes up to temp, vents and builds pressure. What is my view?
What is it?
What are you feeding them?
Pistachio. Love it.
We are getting it dialed in. It's actually, we've never canned outside before either. A little bit of adjustment going on here, but we're gonna get this dialed in, and it is time we're running. All right, it is time. It's getting dark, so this has been at temperature for 65 minutes. I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm gonna let it come down to 0, and I'm not gonna touch anything. The last batch of salmon is coming off the smoker. We're gonna can that up. Oh yeah.
How's it look?
So good.
I'm just wiping the, I'm not wiping the top thing for you. I'm just
Sure. I'll do the top thing. You just use some vinegar and wipe the sides. So you'll put them right here when they're done for me, I guess. Thank you.
Where's the vinegar at?
We did a good job on the seasoning, at least to eat it this way. Straight. All right, these are gonna be fine overnight because we cold pack them, and then we're gonna cold pack the pressure canner just like we did. They'll be fine. It's getting really hard to control the temperature, like I said, and it's super cold out. Our fire has gone out, and Aaron and I are a little bit tired, but we're gonna finish canning all this up in the morning. I have all of those jars pulled. I've wrapped them in a towel. That wouldn't be necessary, but it's a little chilly out here. Aaron's been running the heater for them, and I just want them to come down to temperature slowly. But we have the ones we canned up last night, and we're gonna give them a try. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
It looks good. All of the jars sealed perfectly well, and it tasted so delicious, fresh. That's mild. Like, that is not overly. I'm just gonna try it. That is good.
Is it?
It really is so good. Try it just by itself. Yeah. So the way I can imagine that we would be eating this on the go is I have some fresh sourdough bread that I made this week, and I grabbed just a little bit of cowboy candy. So this is my open jar straight out of the fridge. So
you homemade made this bread?
I did. It's really, really good.
That's probably the best bread you made ever.
I know.
You better show them how to do it.
You and Wyatt keep saying that. So I tried a new sourdough recipe
really
this week, and Wyatt told me it's the best sourdough sandwich he's ever had. Egg sandwich. Okay, so sourdough, a little bit of fish, some cowboy candy. I'm making them back.
Oh.
But woo! That's really good. That is going to be so nice to take along.
Really enjoy that.
The only thing about it is it's a little dry, and we'll have to do some research and figure out how to.
Little helpers?
I get it that it's smoked and it's dry. However, I would like it a little more, like, less dried out. So we had the failure yesterday, and we were just going to talk about that a little bit. We were kind of going through it last night. One of the thoughts we have is our smoker is not right for the preservation method. However, it did fantastic for us to decide this really is something that we want to dive deeper into and get really good at canning the salmon. We haven't really cared for it canned other ways, but when we were given the candied salmon, we thought it was amazing, and it really is. Even with our mistakes and some flaws and some things we would do different, it really is the best way that I've had canned salmon at all, and would like to figure this out.
Right. The smoker problem is that one's designed to hang stuff. So that's what we tried to do, and it didn't work out real well for us, obviously. But we're going to look into some flat stuff so we can lay it in there flat, and some racks so we can do multiple and do more of it at the same time instead of having just one. But other than that, I think, yeah, that's a good little treat. Like, really good way to preserve it.
Again, this was salmon that we wanted to figure out what should we do with the salmon that we have left. And we've done this the whole time as we've built our homestead, is figuring out the best ways to do things. And we have had a lot of failures along the way, but we've dialed lots of stuff in.
Well, don't group we into this.
Okay,
I don't fail.
I've had your failed ribs once or twice. And you've made some pretty bad jerky along the way. We've made some dog food jerky once or twice, but that's the whole goal, is small quantities, figure out how we want it, and then go all out, full board.
All right, well,
I'm going to get this cleaned up and have some more of it for lunch. You want to join me?
Sure.
All right. Well, we have Easter coming up. What are you making for Easter dinner?
Brisket.
Brisket. So more
Good stuff.
smoking. More smoking, and I'm really looking forward to some time with the kids and their friends, having everyone around the table. Let's roll into that.
Well, good morning, happy Easter. Our brisket's thawed out. We're doing some trimming on it, and we are getting ready to season it and get it on the stove, get it on the smoker today. So I'm gonna use the binder today on it. I'm gonna use W sauce, which is a Worcestershire sauce, if I said it right. We're gonna season it with Meat Church's Holy Cow first. That'll be our main. We're going with another layer of Holy Gospel from Meat Church as well. Gonna combine them. Okay, we're gonna let this rest for about 15-20 minutes, let the seasonings adhere, and then we're gonna get it on the smoker. Alright, so today we're going to go with a little bit of pecan wood for this smoke. Okay, so we're going to try to go up to about 250 today, and we're going to be smoking probably pretty close to 8 to 10 hours almost. We got dinner tonight, so hopefully we can get done in 8. So we're gonna go for that. We're trying to reach an internal temperature of 203 degrees, but we're gonna hit about 175, 170, and we're gonna wrap it and try to speed it up after that.
No.
That's it. Up.
We're poking some holes. Ooh, 8. Into the cooler. Do I shut it?
No. It's been resting for over an hour, about an hour and a half now. Do that. Oh. Perfect tender. Pull apart. Mm. Mm-hmm.